Peace and blessings, family. This is your brother Asar Hotep with the Martin Delaney Center for Egyptology. And today I want to continue our discussion and critique of the text Ancient Egyptians Refute Afrocentrism by Kyrllos Eskander, subtitled Archaeological Evidence and Historical Facts, where he claims to refute Afrocentric scholarship with this, what I call the extended Facebook post. And for those who, haven't seen my previous videos, you'll know why I say that. And so I want to discuss a major theme and argument in his text, starting with part 2. The text is broken up into 3 parts. So part 2 is titled Ancient Egyptians versus Afrocentrism. And that is the author right there, looking at any ancient Egyptian monument. And so throughout this chapter, if you can see, what he is trying to argue is that essentially the ancient Egyptians look more like this in terms of the males, and that the females, the women, the ladies, are this color, right? And all throughout the text, he only shows the monuments where the women are depicted in a yellowish color. And what he doesn't include is the context for where you will find these women that are depicted in this yellow color. They're usually more so in funerary scenes. Here's there's no women. Well, there's one woman here. If you can barely see, the woman is right here, right? So, and this is, and I'll show a little later that these are in fact foreigners who have adopted ancient Egyptian culture. This is a scribe, and you can tell by his hair. But that'll be in a long form video coming up. And so I'm just going to show you a few examples. Here's another one, a dwarf with his woman, and you'll see that he'll only show the women whose in certain cases their faces, the paint has been removed or just faded, or it's been deliberately depicted as yellow skin. So he's trying to say that the males are the darkish reddish brown because they're outside working, and the women are a yellowish color, their real color, because they stayed in the house, which is ridiculous because you see the scenes of the women outside. And so he rarely, if ever, posts a scene of multiple people at once. So here's another one that he's trying to use to make the argument that this is what the ancient Egyptian true skin color is, and the women. And so it begs the question, how can the men be different colors than the women? What is the biological process that would make that happen, right? And so what I want to do is, and of course, like what in contrast, what he'll say is that the black people are only depicted in this dark color, right? And that you'll see foreigners in a reddish color, and that the Egyptians and the Asiatics, these are Asiatics here, are of the same color and hue. And so we're going to address that in the upcoming long form video on YouTube. But I just wanted to kind of dismiss that, vehemently. So this is a text, an introduction to Egyptology, right? What's the author's name? James Putnam, right? And in it, you will find various different primary source images, right? So if all the women are in fact of yellow skin, and why is Tutankhamun's wife depicted the same color as he is, the dark reddish brown, and with the quote unquote Nubian hairstyle. We'll discuss that in the video, right? And you can see this king here is with the African hairstyle and also depicted in reddish brown skin. And so you'll see like people in the Egyptian army. So in his text, he shows this one depiction of the Tutankhamun scene. We'll have a close up at this in a larger video, where there's Ethiopians, Sudanic Ethiopians, being trampled by the Egyptian king, and not focus on the fact that the Ethiopians are also colored. Some are in the dark black, and some are in the reddish brown, just like the ancient Egyptians. And you can even see that in, as far as the army is concerned, in this Ramesses II depiction here, right? We'll have in the long form a close up so that you can better see, right? So, like here's an example of the women, like a woman in this light color, right? But there's 4 women at the top here that are the darkish reddish brown color, just like the men, right? So it's always good to have text with the primary images, and if you can go to the museums and take the photos yourself, that is also good. So here's some Egyptians with clearly African style hair, and in the dark reddish brown color, the standard color of ancient Egypt. And here's a whole slew of women, none of them in that yellowish color in terms of being depicted. These are musicians and dancers, right? These are from, I believe that's from the Theban tomb, right? There's another good brother with his afro, and this is an Egyptian. This isn't a quote unquote Nubian, even though there's really not much difference of them. So you can see in this Theban tomb painting, you see the brothers at the top, but right below them, you see the sisters sitting down, same color as the brothers, right? I think I got maybe one more example. This is clearly a sister here. This is from Thebes, right? The Theban tomb. And again, not depicted in this yellowish color. So there's something else going on here. This is the dark reddish color, is the standard color. And even Asiatics who are depicted as ancient Egyptians are sometimes color this, even though their color is different. Like what we see with this scribe here. We've even had Europeans, when the Ptolemaic period came, who are clearly light-skinned to white, being depicted as in the color of the ancient Egyptians, but their hairstyle and their facial features and their clothes give them away as foreigners, right? So I just wanted to throw that, at you real quick so that you know what to look for in terms of these arguments. Have them explain, the vast majority of the women being depicted the same color as the men, and what arguments, and they're shown the same color as the Nubians. This on this book here, Foreigners in Ancient Egypt, Theban Tomb Paintings from the early 18th dynasty. It's a Nubian, same color. And when you go to the southern part of Egypt and you see same folks, same color scheme going on in real life. Like this is their color for real in real life. It's no symbolism or anything, right? So something else is going on. So just wanted to put that on your mind. Let me know in the comments what you think. Talk to y'all later. Peace.